right, you guys, welcome to the next episode of Spiritual Practices. Today we're going to be talking about meditation and contemplation. So we're going to start from meditation. What it really is, how is it beneficial, what is the objective of that spiritual practice, and who's it for? So, to explain what meditation is, there is a beautiful quote. I believe it's from Bhagavad Gita, but don't quote me on that. That says that a mind is a great servant, but a horrible master. A mind is a great servant, but a horrible master. And meditation is one of the most powerful spiritual practices that help you understand that we are not a human that has a soul. We are a soul that has a human. We're not supposed to be a human that is ruled by the mind, because the mind belongs to the physical world. But we are a soul experiencing human life through a human body. The mind is supposed to be our servant. The mind is supposed to be submissive to the spirit, to the soul, right? We live in a world that literally from the day we're born programs us to social conditioning, cultural conditioning, program of a matrix, right? To force us into believing, especially in these times, they're very distorted, masculine, patriarchal, energy ruled sort of at times, not to believe what is not tangible, not to believe the intuition, the heart, the spirit, right? To believe the mind. So meditation is not about switching off the mind. You cannot switch off the mind. It's not about turning off the mind. It's not about not thinking. It's about observing the monkey mind, right? So if you imagine your mind as that, again, monkey mind or the lizard brain, whatever analogy resonates with you most, it's something that we need to operate in this physical world. But if we are bound by it, we're going to get lost. We're not going to ever understand the meaning of life. We're not going to ever connect to our heart, to our spirit, right? So in order to conquer the mind, to train the mind to be submissive, we need to observe the mind. And that is all that meditation is. You set up a space for yourself and you sit in stillness to observe the mind. You create that illusion of separation, imagining almost that you're taking that step back and you're observing your human. What is she thinking? What is he thinking? Right? You're not questioning the thoughts, but you're not engaging in the thinking process. You're just observing, right? So you cannot switch off the mind and the thoughts that come to it, but you can switch off the thinking process. That is a conscious action, right? So you're not engaging with your thoughts, and that's what meditation is. It's really a practice that helps you to understand your mind. Through understanding your mind, you understand the patterns, the automations that exist in your mind. And as we meditate, like I said, we don't engage in anything. We don't question, we don't analyze, we just observe. And as you observe your mind, how it thinks, how it operates, what comes to it, what's the automation of that monkey mind, after you're done with your practice, you can use this as you contemplate, do shadow work, journal, whatever that is, to then start to understand your mind, right? But in the act of meditation, you sort of just feel into it. You allow your spirit, your awareness to just witness the thoughts and the processes that are happening in the mind. That's the best way I can explain this to you guys. So when we ask, who's it for? Everyone. My belief, everyone should meditate. Again, you know what I'm going to say to you? It's a permission slip. It's still a permission slip. You're not needed, right? Perhaps there's a moment of your journey that you will reach that point where you will really be fully, because the objective of this practice is to reach a state of full awareness and mindfulness, where the mind is the servant. So the mind is no longer acting on an autopilot, taking decisions, having thoughts, but you start to reprogram it to the will of your soul, to the path of your soul, to the destiny of your soul, to serve the soul in getting its objective, right? So once you achieve that state, who knows, you may not ever needs that meditation process. And throughout, as you practice meditation more, it will change, because you start from just meditating to witness your mind, to witness your human, to witness your patterns that are happening, the automations that are happening in the mind. But in future, it may become a practice that you go for to get answers, to connect deeper to your inner guru, to your higher self, to connect to source, right? But as we get started, it's a self-discovery practice. It's understanding and the beginning of a process of reprogramming the mind. So my belief, anyone should do it, even if you're truly not spiritual. There's a lot of scientifically proven benefits of meditation, but this is one of this practices that I will tell you, still not necessary, still permission slip, but an amazing practice. And if you would to choose one or two, I would probably tell you meditation and shadow work, although there's a lot of beautiful spiritual practices that we're going to cover in this series, but meditation is a very powerful one. So anyone, wherever you are on your journey, it's a beautiful practice that we should be doing. How to get started? I sort of divide in my mind the meditation into three baskets, right? So the one that you do as a guided meditation, I think it's the easiest way to start, right? To feel into the process. You can find a lot of guided meditations online. A lot of them will be for a specific objective, right? But this is a good way to get you started. The second basket would be where you no longer need someone, a spiritual teacher's voice to walk you through it. You're ready to sort of step to another level, and it's a meditation that happens just with music, right? Relaxing music, whatever tunes you in, whatever works for you. You can also use some chanting and mantra chanting, whatever works for you, and sound baths. And the final one is the meditation in complete silence, that requires a little bit of for most, a little bit of experience, a little bit of practice, to train your mind not to engage in the thinking process. And the final thing that I want to mention is contemplation. It's a little bit different. Some people will find that easier because it's actually, contemplation is thinking, but it's thinking that is not deprived of spirit. So let me explain what it means. And it's something that you can practice as after your meditation, to then engage in the thinking process of whatever came through to you, whatever visions, thoughts emerged in the meditation. It's such a beautiful practice because you see how much it changes as you meditate more and more, how different meditation becomes to you when you are doing it for the first time, and for the, let's say, your first years into it, and as it changes, as you grow and evolve, what a different meaning it starts to have to you. But when we talk about contemplation, it's also something that you can start from. If you struggle with meditation, it's simply just being. Contemplation, it's presence. It's sitting in a, whether that's on your bed or at your kitchen table with your tea, with your coffee, looking through window. Contemplation is something you can do as you go and walk through the forest, through the park, at the beach, being in nature. It's just that inner conversation that I always say. It's never conversation with you. It's a conversation. It's always with your spirit guides or with your higher self. It's that inner dialogue that we have about things that matter, right? Contemplation is a powerful tool in shadow work as well, as we explore ourselves in inner work, as we try to understand, why do I engage in certain practices? Why do I engage in certain thinking patterns and certain behavioral patterns? Why certain things happen in this world, right? It's sort of a dwelling on the meaning of life, on the meaning of things, and it's a beautiful practice. And the reason it sounds like something so obvious, but the reason I'm mentioning this to you guys is that it happened to me that I've worked with people that would say to me that they really struggle to even contemplate. They struggle to be without engaging in any action for more than 5-10 minutes. They don't know how to just sit in your chair and look through the window and be with yourself and think. And even if it's not contemplation on a meaning of life, like I said, it's just sitting in your chair, sipping your tea, looking through the window and being. It's presence, right? It's, how do I feel right now? How do I feel in my body? Why do I feel the way I feel? Or even simpler things. What a beautiful day, with an amazing tree outside. And I would say that if you're one of those people, if you're watching this video and you're one of those people that you really struggle to sit with yourself for 10, 20, 30, 60 minutes, doing absolutely nothing, just observing your surroundings, observing your mind, having that internal dialogue with yourself, it's a bit of a red flag. It's a bit of a red flag. It means that you are in a sort of a deep automation, deep denial, and a deep disconnection from your essence, from your spirit. Just a food for thought. I sort of wanted to put it out there, because the more we grow as a person, the more inner work we do, the more we work on our shadows, the more we reconnect to our spirit. These things don't only become easier, but they're natural. We're going to talk about solitude and silence, but when you complete your journey of self-discovery, it never ends. I always explain this to you guys. It's sort of the healing process has an end date, but when you reach a certain point, it becomes a freaking hobby. I could sit like this for hours. The topics would never end, whether that's gratitude or meaning of life conversations, or right. So it's a bit of a red flag. It means that you really are a slave to the monkey mind that doesn't even allow you to take 10 minutes rest from that monkey mind. So if that's the case, I would recommend to start one of these spiritual practices that resonate with you. I'm also starting to work with a spiritual teacher to walk you through that. But yeah, just not to ramble anymore. Meditation, contemplation, beautiful practice. it's something that truly, if you are spiritual, you just do it. You don't even realize as you do it. You don't even realize. I do believe that meditation is more intentional. It's something that if you guys start to meditate, I always recommend to set up your space, right, to make that intention, to take few deep breaths, to light up a candle, to light up an incense, to make yourself comfortable either in a cross-leg position or just laying down on your bed comfortably. Set up a time that you want to try to meditate, so it's more intentional, right? Whereas contemplation is something that we should be doing all the time and constantly, and most of us does. And it's a beautiful practice. And sometimes, like I said, if you want to ease yourself into meditation, you can just schedule and do more intentional contemplation sessions for yourself for a couple of days or weeks before you give it a try. Don't get disencouraged. I know that many people who are just getting introduced to spirituality, they struggle to meditate. Their mind takes over, but it's a practice, you guys. So don't get discouraged. Whoever tried something and was a master in one day? It's a practice. If you look at it as a training, as an observation, if there's something you need to conquer, and that something is your mind, right? So in order to conquer it, first you need a strategy, you need to understand it. And once you understand it, you're going to slowly be able to reprogram it to the will of your spirit, and like I said, to make it submissive and make it a servant of your spirit, not the master. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, as always, let me know, and I will see you tomorrow.